Hello and welcome to Pyramid Like Games. I really wanted to take a moment today to walk through a little bit of what I've been doing with Night Window, my horror puzzle game. Uh, so the first process that I go through with level design is really greyboxing, which is blocking things out with literal, gray boxes, a cube for a building, things like that. So I wanted to take a moment to go through. I think I recorded yesterday, which is really about a 30-minute greyboxing session for a diner part of this level. So I'm going to time lapse that and talk a little bit through what I was doing and why I was doing that, which may help people that may not be familiar with the greyboxing process a little bit. But welcome. I'm just using some version of Unity 2019 and the ProBuilder free asset, which is wonderful because you can literally gray box out a level. You create a box, a rectangle, different shapes, different polygons, and they're gray like this. And you pinch and pull the faces, vertices, and things to create the different shapes that you want in a very, very low poly, low fidelity kind of structure like this. So the reason that you want to do it this way is you really want to move quickly, make sure that you have the right scale set up. Make sure that you have the right level design and flow. So you'll see here in a second that I actually, once I create this door, I press play on Unity and take a walk through this. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, to check the scale again, to make sure that it's the right height for these chairs, the right spacing between the elements so I can actually walk through. And here I go through the door. The door is a little bit large. This is a nice feel inside. Disregard the light because I really just dropped that in there to light the scene. So that's not the final lighting or shadows or anything, but I'm just testing here that I can jump on top of a table. No reason really at all. I'm just testing the scale of things. It felt a little bit off, so I'm starting to shift around these tables. I create a corner table here. But the goal here is really to move quickly and in such a way that's relatively low polygon. So if you do make a mistake, or the scale's wrong, you get in here after a little bit and you're like, you know what, this just isn't right. You can delete it all and not be like, man, I just wasted a half a day on this or potentially longer. So you want to do it quick and ugly and just get it done really. So I started to resize the doorway. It looks a little bit better now. I think it's still a little bit wide. But you can see that everything it's already feeling like a real environment. The scale of things fit together nicely. It seems like a real world example of something you would walk through. And that's really the goal. Because even though it's a little bit, creatively executed, I guess, you still want everything grounded in a sense of reality. So when people do play, they're not taken out of that experience. So right here, I'm just cutting holes in the faces to create the windows. And then one thing that I'm doing here is, if you think about a real diner, you don't have the seats lining up halfway through a window for the most part. So I'm trying to line it up like it's somebody actually designed this out. So you can see the table is centered to the window, the chairs are pushed off to the side. And that truck that just drove by, when I was actually testing this out, it startled me because I forgot that I added that in yesterday. So it's fun that you're playing through a game that you made and you forgot these little elements and it really comes to life. But you can see after about 30 minutes, this feels like a real environment already. And there's no textures, there's no real lighting, there's no interaction at all. But as you're walking through this, there's that truck again. But you can already tell that, it's a real world environment and it feels like it belongs there. And as you walk through it, it feels real. And that's really the goal of greyboxing. It's not to create this wonderfully designed, high fidelity, textured environment. It's just to move quickly to make sure that this element of a level makes sense for your goal, for your narrative elements, for your interactive elements, whatever you're trying to do. So obviously there's no window, pane in there. There's no door that opens. There's clearly no textures, but I really just wanted to move quickly and show a little bit of the process for Night Window and really all the games that I work on. I use ProBuilder and Unity and just move really quickly. So sometimes, especially with this game here, it's very low. It's low polygon. It's a retro feel, almost like a PlayStation 1 horror game. So I will actually end up just using this same model that I've created with ProBuilder and just texture it. I'll do a little bit of refinements. Maybe I'll put a, windowsill around something. But for the most part, this is done because of the style of the game. But for, higher fidelity graphics, higher polygons, you could have a, level designer come in and actually, rebuild this and build out the right thing, drop some props in there and make it a little bit different. But Greyboxing is just a wonderful way to move quickly and just test out an idea to see if it fits. So that's what I got for you today. If you want to see more of the Greyboxing process or the next step of what I'm doing here, Greyboxing other elements for the gas station, for example, let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching.